Piano Man Dan. Whoa! Piano Man Dan. Piano Man Dan. Hello! Hello, hello. It's a bit loud. It's a bit. I'll put it down here. How are you? Are you all well? Yes. Spring has sprung, hasn't it? Oh, that went down well, didn't it? We had sunshine today. Did you notice the sun? Are you just all too damp from March and February and January, December, November, October, September, August? I don't know. You're just damp. Anyway, lovely. Thank you so much for coming out. And look, I've kept the sparkly jacket. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They were a bit more loving. Well, I'll work on you. No, thank you. I've kept it, and I'm glad you like it. Thank you. Anyway, I'm not talking about that. I want who here? I want to establish the woo in St Leonard's. So who here? who has had their astrological chart read? Give me a show of hands. Haven't? Look, this side very woo. That side. Very St Leonard's. This side, I don't know, maybe Old Town. No, it's good, yes. Well, look, I had my chart read many years ago, and by my astrologer. Her name is Margaret. She lives in Wales. I call her Mystic Meg. Thank you. She's lovely. I've seen her for a number of years, and she's read my chart. Anyway, the other day, I was thinking to myself, well, it was a few weeks ago, I thought, I'm coming into my second Saturn return. Oh, I know, not my first, I know, my second. Who here knows what a Saturn return is? I suspect this side all over it. Oh, no, maybe a few. This side here, yes, but some over here. No, I think there's a lot of Guardian readers in. They don't talk about this in the Guardian. I don't know why. Anyway, look, I'm going to tell you what the Saturn return is, because you need to know this. Look, I Googled it. This is on Wikipedia, so it may not be true. But anyway, look, horoscopic astrology, Saturn return is astrological transit occurs when the planet Saturn returns to the same ellipse. Anyway, the Saturn comes back to the house when you were born, not the physical house, but the position of the planets when you were born, and it's a loop or a circuit or something. Not really sure. I don't know the detail, but it happens. Okay, and the thing is, it kind of happens around your 28th year, 29th, 30th. But it starts kind of when you hit your 27th year. And if you were to think back to your life and wonder to yourself, did anything significant happen to you when you were 27, 28, 29? You might be surprised, because it probably did. Anyway, it tends to start, you see that in the person's late 20s, notably the age of 27. You've probably heard of the Celebrity 27 Club, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Amy Winehouse, Brian Jones. There's probably nothing in it, so you know. Anyway, I had my chart read many years ago, but because I'm approaching my Saturn return, I thought that I should get a little update, get another reading just to see, you know, what's going to happen. Would you like to see my chart? Yes. Thank you. The right answer. So here it is. Well, I don't know. Anyway, I know little bits. So at the top left, you can see my date of birth, and you can see there, see that time, look, 7:25, because you need not just your date of birth, you need your time of birth, and you also need your place of birth. Look, Carshalton, South London, there we go. Edges of South London, borders Surrey. Anyway, so that's my chart, and look, it's all in 12 and 1. And she did my chart, and she gave me my reading, an updated reading, and she went through everything she does. She's very, very lovely and very, very detailed. A lot of it goes over my head. I'm not really a detailed person. So she comes to the end of the session. That's great. And I said, look, Margaret, you haven't dealt with the key thing. She said, what's that? I said, well, you haven't dealt with love. Am I going to fall in love? Because that's what we want to know, isn't it? When you... Was it just me? Anyway, maybe it's just me, because she didn't. Anyway, I said, am I going to fall in love? And she looked at me, and she looked at the chart, and she looked back at me, and she said, no. So that's fine. That's why I took it on the chin, you know. I'm 55. I've kind of expected it. But anyway, then, and this is absolutely true. This story is completely true. Well, Mother's Day. Mother's Day was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? A week and a half. And I was at my mother's for Mother's Day, as you do, with my siblings. Mum had done this thing that mums do. She'd been doing some clearing out. And when we sat down for lunch, she said, look, I've got all your birth tags. It's a lovely thing. And so she gave me and my sister and my brother our birth tags. And I had a look on my birth tag. And I'm actually born at 4:25 a.m. Now, the thing is that my mother and my brother and my sister are not woo. So that when I leap up and say I have to phone Mystic Meg immediately and tell her this, they're a bit surprised. Anyway, I phoned Margaret, and I said, look, Margaret, my time of birth is different. Is this significant? She said, by how much? I said, well, 3 hours. She said, that's a huge difference, Tim. You need another chart, and you need another reading. And I was, yes. So would you like to see my new chart? Are you excited? Right. Anyway, look, here we are. Look, I'm in a different house altogether. All bets at this stage are completely off. And anyway, so Margaret, she does a reading, and I'm fascinating, and she's telling me all these things, and I'm great, it's marvellous, lots of detail, all going over my head. And then it's fine, I say, okay, Margaret, that's great, but look, you still haven't mentioned the L word. Am I going to fall in love? Anyway, she looks at the chart, she looks at me, she looks again at the chart, and then she looks at me and she says, Tim, definitely not. And this is absolutely true. Now, so what then happened? I thought, okay, that's a little bit finite. I know what I'll do. I will Google it. Except, though, I don't use Google. Because you don't use Google here, do you? No, of course you don't. Good. I use DuckDuckGo. It's probably the same. But anyway, it doesn't matter. At least it's not that Google. So I thought I would DuckDuckGo and see if a Virgoan man, age 55, with those criteria, would fall in love. I didn't find a great deal, but I did come across a website called Astrological, which I think is a good, I think they must have been around for a few years to have that domain. I think you would agree. This is a bona fide site. What I found is so, I think, remarkable, and I think so frighteningly accurate, I'm going to say, I'm going to put that out there, that I knew if I tell you, you wouldn't believe me. So I took a screenshot. Would you like to see the screenshot? You would, of course you would, of what Astrology.com tells me about a Virgoan in love. Okay, so here we go. This is true, I didn't make this up, I'm going to put this up there. So the Virgo man in love and sex life. A Virgo man in love is a very particular flavour, really only meant for those with the most discerning palates. He is the caviar and truffle oil of the zodiac lovers. In other words, if you're more of a meat and potatoes or hot dog and bag of chips sort of person, this may not be a match made in heaven. So, I don't know what all of that means, but I wanted to tell you. It may be that I've overshared, I'm not sure. But anyway, there you go.